So, a few years ago, I had a look at a Sega Genesis clone console by ATGames. When I first played it, I didn't think much of it. But, looking back at it, this thing is a piece of crap. Now, before you get angry, hear me out. I love the Sega Genesis. This is one of my favorite consoles. I didn't grow up with it, but I still love it and appreciate the games on it, like Streets of Rage, Golden Axe, Dynamite Headdy, and of course, Sonic the Hedgehog. And I had a hard time picking up the original Sega Genesis. So, for Christmas of 2016, my grandmother on my mom's side gave me this, the ATGames Sega Genesis, and let's just get this thing over with. First, let's have a look at the box itself. Now, the box itself doesn't look very bad. And on the back, it even shows what games are on here. Like Alex Kidd, Ultra Beast, Alien Storm, Aeroflash, Bonanza Brothers, Columns 3, Comic Zone, Crackdown. And now, it has 40 Sega games, but there are 80 built-in games on here. So, the rest of them are just games that ATGames themselves have made. And if you're wondering if they're any good, please. So, opening this thing up, and it actually has 2 wireless controllers, an AC adapter, some AV cables, and the console itself. It even comes with an instruction manual for all the games on here. And, you know what, I'm just gonna throw this thing in the garbage. Yeah. The console itself looks kinda generic. Well, one positive that I have, it has a cartridge slot on it. And some Genesis ports. So you can put in your actual Genesis cartridges and play with your original Genesis controllers. And you're probably wondering how do the wireless controllers work? Well, simple. You can see there is a light right there, and whenever you push a button, it activates an infrared thing. So, we have some of the games on here. We have Kid Chameleon, Mean Bean Machine. So, let's start off with Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, here's what Sonic 1 is supposed to sound like. Sounds really good, doesn't it? Well, here's what it sounds like on the ATGames Sega Genesis. Ugh. Sounds awful, doesn't it? I mean, a majority of these games actually sound awful, and nothing like the originals. But what about the, original games on here? I mean, surely they must be that good, right? Well, if you notice that I put original in quotations, let's just have a look. The first on this list is Air Hockey. Oh god, that music! Alright, let's... Okay, so the controls are a bit delayed. And apparently these black holes over here are where the actual goals, instead of, you know, being right here in the center. And sometimes the music glitches. Is the music supposed to sound like that? I'm done with this one. Okay, next one. Black sheep. You just guess where one of the black sheep is facing. That's pretty much it. Next one, Bomber. It's just Bomberman. I'm serious. It's literally just Bomberman. Except there's only one level. And the music sounds awful. Why rip off something that already exists? Alright, what's next? Bottle Taps Race. Now, instead of actually... This actually isn't your typical racing. You know how most racing games have a drive button or anything? Well, this is nothing like that. This has some kind of curling mechanics where... I don't know how to describe it. Other than it's not a good racing game. Next one is Brain Switch. Alright, I actually don't know how this one works. Next one, Bulls and Cows. Guess what? There are no bulls and there are no cows. It's just some kind of guessing game. Next one is Cannon. And it's made by the same people who made the air hockey game and that, I forgot what. Alright. For some reason, you play as both cannons. I'm not kidding. I selected single player, and I'm playing as both. And I accidentally almost knocked over my tripod. Were they too lazy to program an AI? I mean, for goodness sakes. At least the last few games had AIs. What's this one's excuse? Moving on. This one is called Checker. Does it have anything to do with checkers? Well, let's find out. No, it does not. It does not have to do with checkers. Next one is chess. There's not much to say, it's just chess. Next one is color puzzle. So if the word on the left matches the color on the right, then you're good and dandy. That's pretty much it. Crossing the road. Cross the road. It's Frogger. but you use the A button to move forward, and there's no way to move backwards. And why is that an issue? Well, in Frogger, you can move backwards because if there's a car in front of you, and there was another car from the side, you could move backwards and avoid it. But since you can't do that, well, it's just bad. This is just bad. Curling 2010. This has nothing to do with curling. It's just dodgeball. I'm not kidding. This is just dodgeball. Color dominant. It's simple. Just guess which has more color. That's it. Fight or lose. And it's the same dev team. Yay! It's just chess. It's literally just chess. Should I just end the review here? Is there even a reason to go on? I mean, it's not like the rest of these are just going to be copies, right? Firefly Glow. It's basically... Well, you know that game called Simon? Well, that's basically what this is. Just follow the pattern and make sure you match the pattern. That's it. Flash memory. So, these stars cover up numbers, and you have to select them in order. Formula change. Let's see what this... I don't know how this works. Hexagram. My ear hurts! Nope, I'm not dealing with it. Alright, so you move your cell or bacteria to somewhere. I can't deal with that. No, no, get me out of here. Get me out of this. Jax P. Well, how do I describe this type of game? Well, do you remember that game Doodle Jump? Well, imagine that, but with the slowest, and also look at this camera whenever you jump. I'm pretty sure that's going to be really difficult in the most wrong way possible. Next. Jewel Magic. It's just columns. Why did you put a columns clone in this game? You already have columns on the system itself. So what was the point of making a clone of something you already got? I mean, doesn't that defeat the purpose of making something similar to it? Logic Dial. How exactly does this thing work? You just rotate a bunch of squares until something happens, until you win, I guess? Mahjong. Oh! I'm pushing C to surrender. Match 11. I have no idea how this works. Mega Brain Switch. It's the same game. It's the same game! Except there's more screens! Next one, memory. And it's using the Mahjong tiles. And oh goody! It's even worse! It sounds even worse. All I'm doing is pushing random things. And I'm winning effortlessly. This is so easy. Memory match. So how this one works... Okay. I swear this thing is random. Mirror, mirror. So, where it says X, so, see the numbers on top? Well, try to find those numbers in the same areas. Mr. Balls. Okay. I'm not even gonna say anything about that. Let's just get to the game itself. So, it's a puzzle game. I suppose you're supposed to fill all of the areas with these purple things. And this is boring. Naval power. It's just Battleship. It's a ripoff of Battleship. They ripped off a game that already exists. And I have no idea what's going on. Reaction. It's another matching game. Skipping this. Snake. Oh, isn't that... It's that Snake game. It's Snake. You know that... You know those old phone games that you had on those digital phones? Well, there was a game named Snake. This is basically it. Space Hunter. Let me guess. Is it going to be a ripoff of Space Invaders or Galaga or something? Oh. You just look for the alien. And... What? Oh, sorry. I was not expecting a math equation. In the middle of finding an UFO. Sparkling truffle. It's Simon again. Spider. You shoot spiders. That's basically it. Just shooting spiders. Even when the reticule doesn't... I swear these spiders' hitboxes are really huge. What's this one? I don't know what's going on. Table magic. Oh, so it's one of those cup and ball games. Three more of these left. Treasure hunt. Wait. Alright. So, whenever there's an obstacle, it hides, and you have to go around it to get to the treasure. Warehouse keeper. Alright, so a game where you move boxes. Sounds simple. And I already messed up. Last game on this dumpster fire. Whack-a-wolf. It's just whack-a-mole. It's whack-a-mole, but it has the big bad wolf and Little Red Riding Hood. But those are just the rest of ATGames' quality games. I'm sure this Genesis stuff runs fine, right? No! It runs poorly! I mean, some of the games might run fine, but games like Comic Zone have graphical issues. Like, look at the intro. The lightning bolt was not layered in properly. Like, for some reason, sometimes some things will just flicker for no reason. And other times, it's just... Sometimes, look at that. And sometimes when you're playing a game that requires 2 players, sometimes, since they're infrared, some inputs will interfere with each other. Ah. Do I even need to continue? Plain and simple, this thing is hot garbage. I really hope for another good Sega console. Wait. Isn't the Genesis Mini coming out this year? I'm picking that up. So basically, pick up the Genesis Mini when it comes out. Or, if you have an Xbox 360, pick up the Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection.